So what are you wearing?
Oh, this whole thing. It's from last year's collection. You may have seen it featured in Milan a couple of times.
Wow.
It's very cute. It was, I believe it was on one of the covers of Vogue.
Ooh.
Yes.
Vogue.
Very to do. It's like 1,000 thread count.
Ooh.
I want to say Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah.
Take off your clothes.
Hola.
Hi, you guys. So here we are again, me and Sivon. And so we decided to create a video telling you guys how we met. It wasn't on some app.
Right.
It was very
Organic.
normal, I think. And so, let's begin. Okay, so
these questions are a compilation from various different people
yes, and myself.
and yourself.
I came up with some of the questions. Just generic questions that you may ask or things that you guys might want to know, just to give me a little background on our relationship. So,
And I've been briefed over the questions, so
I
I'm ready.
briefed him. He's ready. He should be ready. Bella, come on. Come on. Okay, so let's get into the questions.
Yes.
Okay, question. Well, actually, this is going to be like a background. So we're going to hit the when we met, how we met, who approached who, things like that. So we're going to give you a little story first, a little background. Okay, so here's the background.
Power of love. Lights turned down low. Radio on.
So we met at work. And I think our first interaction, I saw you, but I was over there to talk to one of my friends, so I didn't really see you.
Yeah.
And this was earlier in the year, last year. Yeah, this was last year.
Was this when I moved over there to your department?
Mm-hmm.
So this was like the end of last year.
Yes. And I don't know. I was already in a relationship, so it wasn't really like I could. Yes, we're giving realty exclusive. So it was only so much I could really see or even really care to look at you. So when that ended, I seized my opportunity. So I approached him in that sense.
And how did you approach me?
On some real shady type of shit.
No.
Like via a surrogate. I sent somebody to tell me that I liked him. And then I hit you up in your inbox.
Yeah, I think he's giving the watered down version, so I'll give the detailed version of the background. So, I moved over to his department, and before I moved over there, I seen him walking out of the job as I was walking in, and I was like, "Ooh, really, really cute." But I'd never see him, so I was just like, okay. And I had half the mind.
Working at work.
I had half the mind to go back outside and see if I can get a second glance, but I was like, no, I'll probably see him again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up moving over there to the part of the job where he works. And I remember saying after a while, he's gonna be an issue. I said he's gonna be an issue because I was not in a place to be dating nobody. I noticed that he kept looking at me, and we kept making eye contact. We kept making eye contact, but it was one. You know when you lock eyes with someone that you think is attractive and they think you're attractive, it's like you kind of stare at each other for a second, and then look away.
Mm-hmm.
And so that we were doing that a lot, and so I remembered his schedule. I remember like around what time he came in, and what time he went to lunch. And so I remember a couple times he would come over there to act like he was speaking to me. So I was like, okay, this boy likes me now. But then I overheard someone say he had a boyfriend. So I was like, oh, hell no. Okay, then yeah, that's out the window. And so this was right after Christmas when someone at the job approached me and was like, well, I have a friend and he said for Christmas he wants you or something like that. He wants you for Christmas as a Christmas present or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who is it? And at first she wouldn't tell me who it was. And then she was like, it's Sivon. I was like, okay. So I tried to act like, I was like, but he got a boyfriend. And she was like, well, maybe he don't like him. I was like, well, that ain't my issue. So, but I was like, well, tell him to hit me up in my inbox. But by the time I was made it to my lunch, he had already hit me up. He had already hit me up. And it was very organic. We went out like the day after he hit me up, and where did we go? We went to, it was after work.
This was after work. Where did we go? We went to Carolina Ale House.
Downtown, we did. And it was so cute.
It was so cute.
I was trying to get a read because my whole perception of him was that he was real sedity. And because I remember trying to give him a compliment one time and he kind of just like, oh, thank you. And, you know, went about his day. But then we later discovered that he was just nervous and didn't know what to say.
Me at a loss for words, imagine that.
Uh-huh. But there was some drama in the beginning.
There was.
That I nipped in the bud real quick. Was not happening.
Yeah. So my plan after my breakup was to, hoe around for a little bit. And one of the people that I was gonna hoe around with was talking
Talking down.
the streets and had my name written on them. So
And this information got to me before he could tell me. So when I found this out, the same day that he was in my inbox, the boy was like, you can't tell nobody. I was like, okay, who is it? Sivon. When I tell you, this was right after I got from my break.
Oh, bad.
This was right after I got from my break and was messaging him. So I was livid. I got back to my desk and I couldn't work. I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna send him this message when I go on my last break. So I'm typing up this message like real long, like how dare you? If you want to hook up, then you do. But then I was like, no, we going out, and I want to bring it up to his face so I can see exactly how he responds. And that's what I did.
And he thought he was going to get an old vet like me together.
But I did because I caught you off guard.
Yes. I was a bit gooped, but my PR story was together.
Oh. Oh, really?
It was together. Seamless. I said fake news.
Well, I can't. It worked. We're together. It worked. But that's how we met. He approached
me.
me.
That person never did hook up. It's warm in here.
It is warm. I did turn it on. This is
What? A breeze? A whisper.
Take off your clothes. I want it.
So, the first time we realized we liked each other, ooh, Miss Man, we gotta clip them nails, yes.
yeah, they're getting long. The first time we realized we liked each other.
was
When's the first time you realized you liked
I don't know. I guess it was one of those times that I seen you prancing around in your scarf.
me? At work?
Yeah, at work.
That's early. I thought you was cute, but I thought you was cute. But the first time that I realized that I liked you was the first time I realized that I liked Sivon was our first hangout, our first date. We went to Carolina Ale House because I actually got to speak with him. And if I'm entertaining you at all, I'm going to get to some deep stuff. First off, I'm gonna like slide it in, sneak it in. But he really showed me. He really showed me his heart, and I fell in love with it. So that's when I realized that I liked him.
Yes. And I realized. I want to say that I realized I loved you. I'm speak louder. That's what they're saying in my ear. So I want to say the first time I realized that I loved you.
That you what?
That I loved you.
What?
Around the time I went to Manila. I feel like it was like definitely before that, but like that's definitely when I was like, I think I can really be without him.
That was early. That was early on. Well, no. Well, we were feeling the same thing because I remember day when he was in Manila and we were on FaceTime and I was sleepy. I was about to go to sleep and at a friend's house and Brandon, shout out to Brandon. And right before we got off the phone, I said I love you, but I hung up really fast because I was like, oh yeah, because we made a bet. We was like, well, it was more like just a fun little game. Who is gonna say I love you first? And so I wasn't gonna say it, but I did say it. But I hung up really fast, and I didn't think that he heard it because there wasn't no like text message afterwards, or he didn't mention it afterwards either. I brought it up, but I think that's when I realized that I loved him. But Charlotte, our trip to Charlotte, our first trip to Asheville. Our first trip to Asheville. Was this before you left for Manila? Okay, well, this is before I accidentally said I love you. Our first trip to Asheville is when I was like, okay, I could possibly love this boy. And I was just like, oh Lord, here we go. But no, yeah, I think we were feeling the same thing at the same time. Which makes it
I just wanna be.
Favorite physical trait. I think my favorite physical trait on Sivon would have to be his eyes.
Oh, don't be stop.
And he has some very seducing eyes, and they can make me do anything. I swear, they're so beautiful and big. They're big and beautiful. I think that's my favorite physical trait. And my favorite personality trait would have to be. Ooh, this is a good question. He's a jack of all trades. I think that Sivon can do any and everything. I think that he can, because he's so, what's the word, multifaceted? Is that the word? I would just say multi-talented, multi-gifted, because when he gets an idea in his head, he actually acts on it, and he doesn't let it go until he acts on it. So I think that's the thing that makes me just admire him so much, like, because it's an admiration that I have for him that goes beyond just a love thing. It's a life thing. So that's my favorite personality. Your turn.
So it's my turn. So I would also agree with the eyes. I love your eyes, but for like a different reason, because your eyes are like so bright, and they're like little slits. They're really teeny. And so for somebody that has big eyes, and I'm used to my eyes being big bug eyes, and I had to kind of grow into them, much like my ears. I feel like I would just love to have the kind of hooded little teeny eyes.
Okay.
And then, you know, the contrast between how bright they are and like your dark eyelashes just really popping gives me like real Egyptian teeth.
That was very detailed.
And so, personality-wise, I think that I love most your optimism, like how even a panic doesn't really seem to be like a panic with you. I mean, I know you have your times where you're going through an internal turmoil, but for the most part, I think that you see things as the glass half full. That's something that I don't always have. I try to, and I used to be such an optimist, but the world can kind of make you into a realist or a pessimist. So I feel like I thrive off your positivity.
That is so you're so sweet. Bella, what isn't sweet? We gotta do a video on Bella soon.
Lights turned down low, radio on.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now is get into some questions that were asked by people that we know, people that we work with, friends. And I've been promoting this video for a week, and you guys didn't have any questions. So, but shout out to Sharonda Hughes. Our girl Sharonda.
Shout out Sharonda.
She had some questions for us. So, question number 1.
When is the wedding?
When is the wedding? Perfect. Number 1 question.
Number 1 question. I'm not, we're not 100% sure on when the wedding is.
We gotta
It's
get
not gonna
engaged first, you guys. Can we
Right.
get engaged first?
But it's not gonna be one of those long, drawn out things that's years in advance. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody has time.
And I think that our primary focus is more so on buying a home, but we're definitely gonna get married before we do that.
Because we the thing is, we know that we want to get married. We already know that. We know that's going to happen. So since we know that's going to happen, we want to just go ahead and build a foundation for what we're going to need after we get married. So we're doing really good on our savings. And we are like visionary. Like vision. What's the word? People who can see stuff, not psychics.
Oh. What do you mean?
Visionaries. That's what I'm looking for. We're visionaries.
Yes.
Yeah, because we can see.
And they actualize.
Yeah, like we can see the reality that we want for ourselves, and we actually see how we can obtain it. And we're working towards obtaining the reality that we want for ourselves. And
don't worry, more videos on that.
more videos on that. So that was a good question, and you will have an invite, Sharonda.
For sure.
You definitely. She said she wants to be a bridesmaid. She said she.
Now that is one thing. Like we're not 100% sure on like the opulence of our wedding. Like it would be. I mean, we're pretty grand people, so you would expect a pretty grand event from us.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's all said and done, we may just go away and elope and have like a nice reception.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Yes.
Save our money.
Okay.
So, question number two.
Do you feel like everyone knows your business since the gay community is so small? I, for the most part, don't feel like that. I don't think that either one of us feels like that. There has to be a level of drama or scandal in order to really capture the gays' attention for a long period of time. You have to have insight on the relationship. You have to know, oh, so-and-so is a cheater, or this one goes to this club or that club, or I seen them out there. And we're always together.
We're always together.
I don't really think that we entertain the gay community enough for anybody to give a damn about us.
I don't think so. we're just too focused on ourselves and what we have going on. We're not really focused on who knows what. Like, we let you guys know what we want you to know on social media, and the things that we don't want you to know, we're not ready for you to know because we're working on those things. And so,
and if you're waiting for me to tell you something on social media,
you'll be waiting because I post mostly on his stuff on his social media. I post that. That's coming from me to keep him on top of his social media game. I'm trying to get him better.
And I'm just trying to get to a point where I have somebody on the payroll that does that for me.
Exactly. So are you hinting that I deserve some kind of pay?
No, I'm saying that your position will one day become a paid position.
It's just not one right now. It's okay. You pay me
right now. Right. Right now, it's just voluntary.
So that brings us into question number 3.
Kiss me slowly.
Which is, do you like working together and being around each other constantly?
That's a very good question.
Very great question.
Because we are around each other
24/9.
24/9. We work together.
We do, but not. I mean, that's one misnomer. I think people think that we have a lot of interactions during the day, and for the most part, that's not true. Like, how I am at work is very focused, very serious.
I
most
think
of
we're
the
the
day.
same in that.
Yeah, and my primary focus is getting in there, getting all my shit done by 5 o'clock. Like, I don't have a whole lot of time in the house. Right, my day begins at 5 o'clock. That's when my day, like, one that I seized for myself begins. So, outside of breaks and lunch, like, we don't have a whole lot of interacting. And I think, that's one thing that is good because we still have stuff to talk about. I'm like, oh, let me tell you what this happened today.
And at first I thought it was going to be a little straining because we're always around each other. But Sivon has become my best friend. And I think I get more pleasure in being around him. I feel more safe around him. I feel like I can be myself around him. So being around him is that fresh air for me. I can breathe finally. At work, I'm like, can't breathe. I'm panicking.
7 or 8 hours out the day.
But then going home with him and to him is just, it makes my entire day much better. It gives me something to look forward to. So,
and we get to ride to work together, which is so nice. Like, that is one thing. I didn't grow up with both my parents. My father died when I was real young. But I do remember, like, there being a time when my mom was married, or she's still married, but I remember a time when she would take her husband to work or vice versa, that kind of carpool thing. And that to me as a little kid seemed so cool, like, oh, even though I didn't really care for him, I was happy that she was happy. And that just kind of seemed like the American thing to do, carpool with your spouse. If y'all work at a similar distance or whatever, and we're all trying to be green in the end.
exactly.
Being green or safe on the green. Hello, somebody. So that's fun. And having lunch together gives us that midway point to, really tell each other about what's going on.
Yeah, and I think we've learned each other really, really fast. To the point that now we can finish each other's thoughts. So I think that comes from being around each other so much. And I think it allows us to build effectively together. Knowing one another and respecting each other. Because that's one thing I learned what he likes and what he does not like. Just from paying attention to his facial expressions or his reactions. And trying every day to remember that, work on myself to accommodate his needs and his desires and vice versa. And I think that is why we're so good together. We're so good. So Sharonda she didn't really have a question this time. She just wanted to make a statement, and she got on me because I didn't respond to her when she sent it. But girl, I was trying to give you a shout out on the video.
Listen.
Boy. So she says,
y'all two are one of my favorite couples, and I love you both to pieces. If I'm lucky, I hope to have half the relationship you guys have. And that's so sweet.
That's so sweet. And I don't think we aspire to be anybody's couple goals. We are just too focused on ourselves.
Right. Ourselves collectively.
We're focused
as a
on our
relationship.
goals. But we don't mind sharing our happiness with you guys. It makes me happy.
And I think that's the mark of true goals. When you're out there trying to be the archetype of a relationship.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of pressure.
A whole lot of pressure, yes. And
on top
any
of actually
deviation
maintaining your relationship.
Right.
That's pressure.
So I think that's where a lot of people mess up. But I think my whole life I've wanted the same thing, half of what we have. And this is the first time I have all of it.
And before him, I didn't think it was possible. I had given up. I said, well, Rae, you've had your share of relationships. And none of them worked out. My God, you're going to find somebody. But I found someone. So
and when you have this, you realize that a Oh shit! Before that was all settling.
Settling.
26 years worth of settling.
Mm.
When you know better, you do better.
When you know better, you do better. And thank God we knew better when we got together. Thank God. So, I think we have two more questions to answer. I hope you guys really enjoyed getting a glimpse inside Rae Rahji Sivon, our relationship. We really do appreciate all the love that we get from you guys and the comments and the likes. We really like that. It shows us that we're doing something good.
Yeah.
So
Especially all the hair comments. Thank you.
and their hair comments. He loves So I'm going to get into the last two questions. So, you ready? Now, wait, Courtney had a question, and this is a good question, and I'm so glad I thought about this because this is a good question. Really quick, she wanted to know, do we have plans on adopting?
Absolutely. We could try all day to make a baby, but that's not going to work.
We can try all day long.
And there's so many kids out there that need to be adopted. And they need a loving family or home. So I feel like that's one of our duties in life, and we, definitely need to get on that.
Exactly. And adopting has always been, even as a little boy, has been a dream of mine. Only because I've always wanted to grant a child the opportunity to love and an opportunity to success. And so that's always been my thing. So yes, we are going to adopt. That's something I don't know how many times we're going to adopt.
I don't know how many times.
But we do plan on adopting, and it depends on the tax bracket.
The coins.
So, but yeah, we have plans on adopting. So thank you so much, Courtney, for asking that question.
But I want the most, and what I want is you.
What do we love about each other individually and collectively? That's a good question. Yes.
I think individually, what I love about you is your follow through. Sometimes I can have the tendency to be off vision, and that can get you halfway there. But actualizing and bringing that vision to fruition is the biggest thing. And I think that you are a constant zapper reminder. Like, you gotta get on this, you gotta get on that.
That's exactly how I see it. We have a little system working. He has vision and he has the passion and the drive for it. But sometimes I gotta, let's actually do it. And so that's really, I like that. So collectively, about us, what do you want?
Collectively about us, I feel like we match. And beyond that, we work well together. A relationship is one big machine. And if you got a gear turning over here and a belt catching over here, the machine is not going to work for at least to its full capabilities. And that's when, that belt breaking leads to this wheel not turning or this screw coming undone. And before you know it, the whole thing unravels. So I think that, we're well lubed up. We've got good timing belt and all of our gears and cogs.
Listen to him. He's so smart.
So
Sounded like he be building cars every day.
Definitely not.
You have the brain for it.
Thank you.
Individually, I like that he's genuine. He's very genuine, and I never have to guess with him. I know that he loves me. I know that he cares for me. I don't have any doubt in my mind that that's true. And there's a sense of security. Like I don't feel like I don't never have to think, well, just in case we break up, or just in case this happens, I want to be prepared. No, in the beginning I had doubts because it seemed too good to be true.
Yeah.
But over time, he has totally erased every piece of doubt that I could possibly have, and I think that's new for me. That's really new for me because in my past relationships, I knew that there was an expiration date. I seen it. It was
going
in
up to it, opening
large,
it,
bold print. You go, you open.
Another couple weeks.
Another couple weeks.
Back on the show.
But what we have is everlasting, and I think that drives me to know that this is never going to end. This is not going to end. So I get to actually enjoy it. Because I know it's going to last. So I thank him. I thank you for making me feel that way. Collectively, we just work. I think one of the biggest things that I'm grateful for as a couple is our ability to communicate. That's always been a big thing, and it is a big thing in a successful relationship. And even though we haven't been together long, we've been together a lot. And so, like I said before, I've gotten to know him. Not just what he likes, but the things that he dislikes. And knowing how and when to compromise in order to keep peace in our relationship. Because everything doesn't warrant a reaction. Everything doesn't warrant a response. And I've realized that if it's not a big deal to me, but if it's a big deal to him, then it should be a big deal to me. Especially if it could affect our relationship in the long term. So I think we have a unique ability to communicate even without words. And I think that is a 100% relationship saver. That will save the relationship. So, any questions that you guys may think of, that you want to ask us individually and collectively as a couple, feel free to comment under the video. Feel free to send us messages. Anything that you want to see us do or record, or topics that you want us to discuss, please feel free to let us know, and we will do our best to try to accommodate you as the viewer.
Yes, I will definitely do this more often.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it yesterday in Charlotte, but then Charlotte backdrop, but they wanted us to do it in the room.
I wanted us to do it in the room because it's more personal. It's a more personal play, and soon you'll get a tour of the room. It's quite small, but it's cute. So there you have it. How did we meet? Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys really got the answers to the questions that you have, and I hope that you guys will be wanting more in the future. Bella, you have something to say to the people? Nothing?
So, Carol, I'm working on the second, third now.
So we love you guys. Don't forget to add a little color to your lives. And you can follow me on Instagram at Rae of Sun, SON .light. You can follow him at
Prince of Grateful _ after all of the words.
and I'll have that posted. So, until next time, see you later.